Myles Brennan, LSU quarterback, is reportedly entering the transfer portal. Sam Spiegelman from over at Rivals had it first. It's been followed up on by The Athletic and a number of others. Tiger quarterback who was part of the 2017 class, came in, was asked to play a little bit early. Danny Etling kind of beat him out. I think it's maybe his turn to play after Etling moves on. Joe Burrow comes in. He sits behind Burrow for 2 years. Then it's his time. 3 games into the season, gets hurt, misses the rest of the COVID year. And then obviously before practice even started this year, broke his arm and was unable to play to this point in the season. Myles Brennan has decided he's going to finish his college career elsewhere. And it's crazy to say for a guy that was in the same signing class as Justin Jefferson and Clyde Edwards-Helaire that he has 2 years of college football at his disposal, but he does, and he'll be moving on.
Yeah, just you kind of felt this coming on, especially, with the season that we've had this year and just everything surrounding the program. And just a kid who's just, to me, just can get every unlucky break you can have. He's had all those unlucky breaks and literally breaking his arm before the season this year. So it's just a very, very unfortunate situation. Obviously, depth at the quarterback was something that we felt really good about going into this season, and that's kind of something that kind of wavered away after Myles got hurt. But kind of just want to wish him the best. Hopefully he can find somewhere elsewhere where he can have some success at the college level. But just definitely sad news for Tiger Nation right now.
You can look at guys like Tate Martell, who jumped all over the country trying to find a place to start, and criticize him for hopping, trying to find a spot. Or if you want to get on Justin Fields for not competing with Jake Fromm. I mean, it's all that's open for discussion. However you want to feel about it, the rules are the rules. You can't really criticize Myles Brennan. This is a guy who was here for the 17 season, 18 season, 19 season, 20 season, 21 season. That's 5 years. And Max Johnson's kind of got his feet on the ground right now as the guy. And, Garrett Nussmeier came in and played a little bit. Myles is a really nice player, but he's graduated from LSU. He's been here for 5 years. If he wants to look elsewhere, maybe he can play and hopefully get on the field. I have a hard time criticizing him.
Yeah, you can't. Not especially. I can see if you didn't have a guy like Joe Burrow coming into town and you didn't get hurt right before your senior year where you were expected to really go out there and challenge for the starting job and really have a great season. All those things are just unlucky breaks. You can't predict any of those things, and he's battled. He's been a true Tiger, true leader of this team, and he's really handled things the right way. He hasn't been a distraction. So I really do wish Myles the best. It's just very, very unfortunate, very unlucky breaks that he's had through his career as a Tiger.
What do you think he's got in the tank?
Man, I think he's hungry and eager to go out there and prove people what he can do at this level. Obviously, last year wasn't what you want to have, especially that Mississippi State game to start the year. But if you really just look at his numbers, they really aren't bad. He's thrown for a good bit of yards. His touchdown-interception ratio isn't bad. He can throw the football very accurately down the field, and there's plenty of programs around the country that could use a guy like that. So I intend on seeing him play somewhere next year and have some success. And like I keep saying, I really wish him well.
Look, I think he can play. I think he's a good player. If you look at what he did last season to those 3 games to start with, I didn't think he played very well against Mississippi State. He ended that game with 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. They were playing from behind. He got going a little bit in the second half, like a little bit tentative. Wasn't great. Against Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, I thought he was excellent. Against Vanderbilt, he threw for 337 and 4 touchdowns with a pick. And then against Missouri, he was brilliant. In a game that he got hurt in, he was 29 of 48. He threw for 430 yards and 4 touchdowns without a pick in a very competitive game. Through 3 games last year, he averaged 371 yards a game. He threw 11 touchdowns and 3 picks. I think Myles Brennan's got a strong arm. He's smart. He's pretty accurate with his throws. He's been under some really good coaches, and I think is really going to help wherever he lands. Where? I have no idea. It's a guy from Mississippi. Does he give Mike Leach a look? Will Rogers is very young. Does he give Lane Kiffin a look? Matt Corral's moving on. I don't know. I don't know what Myles Brennan's future holds, but I certainly think he can absolutely play. And again, it's funny to go through some of the names in his signing class. Now, some of those guys are still on this team, which is nuts. But Deculus is in that signing class. Just some of the names from the 2017 class, which is for Ed Ogeron's first here at LSU in terms of being a full-time head coach. Jacoby Stevens, Kaylavon Chason, Austin Deculus, Tyler Shelvin, Jacob Phillips, Grant Delpit, Todd Harris, Kerry Vincent. I haven't even skipped one yet. Then there's Miles, Ed Ingram. And you go to Tyler Taylor, who didn't play, Manny Netherly, who was kind of a non-factor, Lowell Narcisse transferred out. Then you got Sadiq Charles, Patrick Queen, Neil Farrell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Justin Thomas, Racey McMath, John Trey Kirkland. You have Seth Stewart, Aaron Moffitt, Torrey Carter, and Justin Jefferson. That's a whale of a signing class that he was a part of, and obviously you need that if you're going to have the best team ever 2 years later.
Yeah. Just it goes to show whoever comes in to be the next head coach, you got a recruiting bed.
Yep.
You read off names like that, and I'm pretty sure most of those guys are from the state of Louisiana, from what I just heard, and it's a great spot to be. And Myles was part of that, some of those great classes that's come through LSU. So. I really do think someone else probably. I think he goes SEC, man. I think they have probably the most familiarity with him, and I think one of these schools is probably losing a senior or a guy who has 1 year of eligibility left this season. I think he goes right in there and fills in, and if he plays well, he's going to be putting his name in the draft. So Myles, I have a ton of confidence in him. If he was our starting quarterback this year, I think things possibly could have gone slightly different because for one simple factor, he just throws a better deep ball than Max. He's more accurate, and I think that's would have been a part of this offense that would have definitely been unlocked from week one going forward. So I think Myles is definitely a quarterback that some of these coaches and coordinators would love to have, and he's got to give them that opportunity entering the transfer portal.